Okay, I think we're rolling. So this is Robin, the generous stitcher, and this is my post Jingle Ball Flosstube. Oh, sorry, felt like something got in my eye. And I'm wearing the Mystic Swan, or the in crimson, which isn't really what I would call crimson, but it's, it's sort of a washed out pink or red, so it worked. And when I was at the Jingle Ball party at my shop, I was wearing my green Donegal cashmere sweater when I got cold. I like wearing that at Christmas time. And I've got a bunch of stuff like around the table in piles, so I'm trying to be really careful. So I'm going to, first I want to thank everyone for watching. Please subscribe, tell your friends. So yeah. So I'm going to go over curated cross stitch collection first, and it's not very much. I've got like a giant shopping bag on the next table with like hundreds of skeins of DMC that I got because it was on a doorbuster sale at Joann's. But I'm not going to show that. I've also bought some Christmas fabric, but anyway, not going to do anything with that at the moment. I had hoped that we were going to get some home improvements done today, and so that meant the power was going to be off, and so I'd be stitching, but that didn't happen. So that means I have to make my Advent gifts for the Salem Area Stitchers holiday retreat, potluck retreat that we're doing this Saturday. I got to do that like Friday, because I'm taking the day off Friday to cook. And then I realized I had a dentist appointment, so I'm really going to be busy. I was able to go to the shop because we had a Jingle Ball viewing party on Saturday. And of course, I saw Atomic Ranch, and there you can see the orange. As the light hits it, it's making it look more yellow golden, which it is not. Yeah, so that's just like flashing the light on it. So this is 28 count linen. I love, I don't know, I own so many orange fabrics, it's crazy, but I have lots of Halloween patterns, and it's Atomic Ranch, and I love their fabric. So I will always pick things that I see on sale. So that was an unintended purchase for Curated Cross Stitch Collection on Saturday. And then this was an intended purchase. Sorry for the glare there. Cocoa quilt. This is a Primrose Cottage, and I liked it. I liked the symmetry of it. I like hot chocolate, cocoa. I make it all the time. There is also a Cocoa Quaker design, and it's like this, but it's busy. It has a larger cup in a Quaker wreath, sort of like right in that corner. I like the symmetry, and this one was a bit more simple, so that's why I picked it. But great patterns. And then I also got the Lola Crow. This is Creepy Christmas Village, and there's spider webs in the gazebo, the headless carriage driver, kind of ghostly carolers. Sorry for the glare there. This is kind of a creepy person in the window, and let's see. Yeah, this is like at the graveyard, and then this is ravens or crows putting skulls on a Christmas tree. So I got this, and I knew it was out there, but they had it in the shop, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get it. And then I was very privileged to have the designer autograph it for me, because she joined us at the shop to stitch during our viewing party, which was fun. I knew she was local and lived in the Portland area, but I had never met her. And sometimes, we have a lot of local designers that come into Acorns and Threads. And so there is chances to, meet them and say hello. But sometimes they come in on like Fridays and Thursdays, and they have stitch groups that meet on weekdays. And so working how I do, I don't get a chance to get up there on the weekdays. So then finally, the other thing, and I said, hey, I called up, and besides the cocoa quilt pattern, I was like, hey, could you put a copy of the Punch, Needle, and Primitive Stitcher magazine? And I really like this one on the back. This is actually just cross stitch. It's not punch needle, but there are some nice punch needles in here, like a poinsettia and like some ruby colored flower that is really pretty. So, all right, so very small haul. I'm hoping my computer will turn on. It's supposed to be rebooting there and doing its thing. So I'm in December for my trusty planner, and I haven't even started putting in my stats since it's only the 10th. But let's see, since the last Flosstube, I said I did Totoro on Friday, and I think I did, but it's not going to be easy to see what, if anything, I did. I know that whoa, that's a lot of glare. I guess I'll have to take it out. I was hoping I could just show it through the vinyl, but no. So I get it out here. And yeah, again, I'm still trying to finish the purple on the umbrella. I'm almost done with it, with the purple part and then the blue part. And then I can move down and you can see the tips of the Totoro's ears. So I know when I worked on it the last time, I had figured out that I had missed some stitches. So I'm getting a call, so I'm gonna have to stop this and come back. Okay, I think it's working again. It's, family. There's stuff that we're talking about, and we're trying to do some things, and my in-laws are trying to do some things, and they're like, okay, let's talk about these issues. And so nothing to worry about, but just some decisions to make. And so I have shown the curated cross stitch collection, and I don't know if I showed you what is it, the Mystic Swan or the Cosmic Swan? It's the Jingle Ball Swan. So anyway, so I did do the Jingle Ball this weekend. It was really fun. And I want to show you my whips, and then we can talk about the Jingle Ball and a bit more, because it was my first time going. And so one of the things that I did is last week, the Salem Area Stitchers are doing their, yes, this is the right one, doing Advent stitching. So the week before last was really stressful, and I was like, okay, I want something easy. I'm trying to do this Totoro on a black even weave, which is not easy to stitch. And I got this big piece that the cat's trying to attack every time I pull it out. So I picked something super easy, which was this, is it like Cabernet grapes? anyway, this is, I don't know what size Aida this is, but it's ivory Aida, and I'm just filling in some of the missing threads that my friend Tammy from Woodland Stitching Studios, she had started this years ago, decided that she was tired of it, she was doing it for her kitchen. She felt like she didn't have room to hang it up in her kitchen when she finished it, so she gave this away on her channel, and I won it. So there is a big grape leaf here. I finished up this side. This lower frame part was already done. And so, like I say, I got a little bit left to fill in here. I did fill in a bit on the top, and then I've been filling in this side. So it's a little bit less empty than it was when I got it and when I started it last Sunday, or a week ago Sunday. And so that was my Advent pull for December 1st. And I have mentioned this a couple times. I'm doing 5 weeks, so the Advent stitch for me will end on January 5th, which is the Feast of the Epiphany. Yeah. So so that was what I pulled, and I'm gonna show you my next pull in a bit. But the other thing that I was working on, I'm trying to just do this gently so I'm not jiggling anything, was for Jingle Ball, I did one class, and that was Festive Forest, and on a piece of Even Weave, which is Winter in My Heart from Live and Die LA. And so I have not got very far. I started the green border and oops, got it, better go do in the right direction. So I finished this leaf and worked on this flower. But, you know, I've been working on the grapes, and I've been working on 2 other whips. So I have not spent too much time, and I knew I was never going to stitch this in time for the Jingle Ball. Great class with the blue flower. This is making this object, which has been formally named the muffin. I always said it's like a biscornu and a drum had a baby. And so yeah, so I am working on that, and it was really good. She explained what this backstitch chart meant. So anyway, we had a really laid back class, and she demonstrated how to stitch together the back stitching, and how to get all the points to do what they needed to do, and whether you wanted to do it tight or whether you wanted to do it looser where you saw more fabric between the stitching, or whether you even, you know, or whether you wanted to not have anything showing. So, you know, design elements that you could design for yourself, decide for yourself what you wanted to do. And for those of you who are at the Jingle Ball, the Blue Flower did this hilarious entertainment reel that was like the chorus of her dogs. And I don't know what her third dog is. Somebody, I think my husband asked me, like, sorry, I'm trying to get this in and it's crackling. Yeah, my husband asked me, like, well, what's the third dog? Or somebody did. Maybe more than one person asked me. And I thought, looking at her floss tubes, that, you know, she has 2 greyhounds, one of which is a pup and gets into a lot of fun trouble. And then the other one is an older dog that I can tell from, you know, gray on the muzzle. And they're both greyhounds. And then the other dog to me looks like a long hair dachshund, but I could be wrong. And if you want to correct me, please do. I don't want to insult people's dogs. Even though I'm not a dog person, I'm a cat person. But I understand these are our furry children. And so So anyway, so I've gone over, just want to make sure, I've worked on like 5 different whips or 4 different whips in one start. So I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So a lot of the stuff I worked on Totoro one night, worked on the grapes the most, and Festive Forest once in the last week or so, 10 days. And then during the viewing party at Acorns and Threads, I brought Purple Pansy Angel, which I have not touched for months. And part of the reason I have not touched this is because my 2 furry children love floss and they love cross stitch, and they just, especially Willow, I'm trying not to say her name because she's pretending to sleep and I don't want to entice her to come join the video today. So Purple Pansy Angel is from a kit from Jan Lynn. This is from like 1995, and I actually got this in a, so I'm trying to do it so the glare is not getting to you. I found this in a discount bin in a cross stitch shop, or I think it was a cross stitch shop or a needlepoint shop that sold cross stitch stuff. Might even have picked it up like before the pandemic. But since I picked it up since I've been married, so I know that much. So like the last 12 years. And it's 12 by 16. It's huge. It's not full coverage. There's a lot of empty space on this Ada, which I think it's white. It could be ivory, or it could be so old that it's sort of, it's ivory. But anyway, so when I have worked on this, it came with all the flosses on cards, which I hate, because this is DMC, I'd rather just do my bobbins. But so I've got all these bits of floss hanging on it, which really entices certain people in the household to come and chomp on it. And so you'll see I've got all this floss kind of hanging on it in different spots. So, but that's a lot less floss that was on it before I worked on it Thursday. So I spent a bit of time in the shop when I was stitching, but I was also doing floss organization, and I took 2 of the different colors that were on here and I stitched them, and so it doesn't look like I've done much. And I'm gonna be careful with this because I don't want to have things fall off and then get lost and then the cats are playing with them. But I basically worked on this top part with this leaf, and you'll notice there's this little white speck. That is 2 squares that are blank. They are just going to be the Ada, because like I say, this isn't full coverage. And so when I was stitching that this weekend, I was like, why did they just leave these two squares blank? And so I had to look at the pattern, and I realized that if I can point to it without putting my finger over it, it's like right there. And so what this is there's a pansy here, and then in the back is this leaf. So there is a little bit of empty space there. Sorry for the glare. So there's some empty space around this leaf and this edge of this pansy, which is not, it's not exactly a ragged edge, but it's not a symmetrical edge. So learned something about the pattern and did a little bit of stitching. Loved it because it's been a while. I've been doing stuff on linen that's prim, and Ada is just easy peasy, fun, quick stitching, which sometimes you just need to do something easy. And I mean, I like a challenge. I like to design my own stuff, but sometimes you just need a break. And so finally, the last thing I'm going to show you is I've showed you all my different whips, which are a lot for me. And oh, out of that, so people asked me about the grapes, if it was going to be a gift, and it possibly can be a gift to a family member of mine. I don't think Tammy wants it back, but I'm going to give her the option to say no one last time before I, and I am going to try and finish it myself. I'm going to get a frame. This is what I've done in the past, although I haven't done true lacing. What I've done is take a masking tape and like taped it down to a piece of cardboard and then shoved it into the frame. So not professional finishing, but finishing of a kind that people who don't stitch won't really care. And they don't know. and it still works. And after 20 some years, the first piece I ever did, the frame is falling apart, not anything to do with the piece. So, yeah. And so my Advent piece for Sunday was a start that I started during the Jingle Ball. So Jingle Ball, my first Jingle Ball. It was fun. The first night I went to a stitching table in the stitching lounge called Stitching with Cats and met a bunch of stitchers from around the country, and they invited me to their Facebook Zoom stitch. Not sure that's going to work out for my schedule, but they were nice people. I'd like to, if I could do it, if I will, but I've got some technical issues that have nothing to do with cross stitch for why I wouldn't be able to. So and then so Saturday I went to the Jingle Ball party at Acorns and Threads, and I had lots of fun hanging out and talking and shopping and meeting people, and but I also did stitching. I stitched, and I organized floss on the Purple Pansy Angel kit, and got some stitching put into that. And so then on Sunday, I went to my class with the blue flower, and I goofed up when I did my class sign up on Jingle Ball because I've never done this. So I basically signed up for 2 different classes. So I have 2 PDFs of that that are like tickets to go view the videos again. So I mean, I can do. Anyway, I mean, they'll be available for 30 days to watch. But the finishing was really pretty straightforward for the festive forest piece, the muffin. And I felt really confident that I'd be able to do that. My problem more was like, well, how am I going to fill it? Which I'm probably going to use some poly pellets because I'm allergic to walnuts and I don't want them in the house. I've had problems where I've been on the grocery aisle looking for peanut butter and realized as my throat was starting to close that, I'm standing right in front of a wall of walnuts. Okay, I need to grab my peanut butter, which I don't think I found that day, or I need to leave the store now, which I think I did leave the store, or went to another section away from the walnuts and finished and checked out my groceries. So this is before the pandemic, so I was not wearing a mask. So what I'm doing, if I can do this really carefully, and good, Max is king of the roost on the cat tree, and Willow is pretending to sleep. Willow accidentally got left outside last night because my husband has the garage door the fob that he has on his keychain to open the garage door automatically. He puts it in his pocket, and then he, like, you know how you butt dial your phone in your pocket? Well, then he opens the garage door. And so there have been times where I've, like, opened the garage door to go out to the garage for laundry or to let the cats go play in the garage, and the door is wide open. And like the other night when he did this several times, I like had to slam the door so quick I was afraid poor Willow was going to get her nose stuck in the door. But anyway, she went out and then she spent the night outside. I don't think it was freezing. It wasn't. It was foggy, but it was just above freezing. And the poor girl, she smelled like garbage and soil. So I could tell kind of what she was trying to do while she was out and about. And so today she's just been sleeping the entire day or pretending to sleep. So, all right, so what I started is I started for my Advent start Emmeline Purnell there, and it is a piece that is just lots and lots of roses. And so this is a limited edition reproduction for Acorns and Threads by Hands Across the Sea Samplers, and there's a write-up about the piece and Emmeline Purnell, and I'm not going to show any of the pattern. And then there's thread legends. There is a DMC, and then there are a couple different silk choices. And so I am doing silks. This is the first time I've ever done silks. And and before I started the piece on Sunday, I like buffed my nails. I like did 2 rounds of hand lotion to make my hands soft. And at one point, I think my eczema was catching up on one of my threads. But my problem with the silks is they're kind of slippery, so they kept coming out of the eye of the needle as I was pulling them through the linen. And so I was like, okay, learning curve on this. And so I'm using, I dropped my pen. I just gotta make sure. Good, Max is sleeping too, so I'll get it before he wakes up. So this is Mystic fabric, and Atypical is the choice, and it is a neutral with a lot of rose and yellow splotches. I had got one of the called for linens, and it was just too beige brown. And the other called for linen that we got for kitting up this piece for the shop was more orangey. And I knew I didn't want the orange, and the beige brown was supposed to be more pinkish, but to me, in my eye, it didn't look pink at all. So when I saw this, and I was like, wow, this is like the rose and the yellow that the silks are, and and then green. And so, I put in my counting pens. I have a needle minder here, and then I started down at the left hand of the border, and this is 36 count, so it's going to be sort of a smallish coverage. Let me see if you can see that. I can't see what you see when I have the fabric in front of me. So there we go. So this is the first leaf of the rose on the border in the left-hand corner, because that's where I prefer to start. If I'm starting something and I don't have to start in the middle, I start in the left-hand corner. And so, I talked to Janine, who owns Acorns and Threads, she's a sampler stitcher. And so I said, tell me what to do, because I've never done I've done bits of, I've done more modern stuff. I have not done a sampler, like a reproduction sampler. So this is a reproduction. And so what she was saying is like all these different floss colors, silk floss colors, you need to have, because this actually, you just saw one color. That leaf is actually 2 greens, and then the roses above it are like about 5 colors. So she's like, make a needle for each floss, and because it's kind of like confetti, so then you'll be like just stitch the color that you need, and then pick up the next color you need. So that's what I did, and they're on a little magnet here. So okay, so this is gonna be, and I've been doing a lot of linen in the last few months, and I'm enjoying it. So the linen part is not hard for me, and so that's where I'm at. And so I'm just about ready to say goodnight and happy holidays. And so I was trying to think if there's anything else. I need to put this in here. So now I had my little corner gauge. I got some more scissors, because I've had so many different whips that I've been doing that I'm like, oh no, where's my scissors? And I actually went to my in-person stitch group and realized they didn't have scissors with me, which was kind of embarrassing. And then I found an old pair, but they're kind of like not sharp. I have a little beeswax just in case, but yeah, another person had told me with the silks, sometimes you want to have like a little sponge and just keep them like moist as you're doing things. So I haven't had a problem yet with the tangles and the different things, but like I say, I've only got that teeny little leaf, one color so far. Okay, and so like I say, I've got we got the Salem Area Stitchers a potluck, holiday potluck, and I am cooking Dirty Annie's no-bake blueberry cream pie. Can make 2 of those because we're gonna have 11 people at the potluck, and then I'm making a big stock pot of Pioneer potato soup, which is like 2 pounds of sharp cheddar, 36 ounces of halal beef bacon, so I can eat it, and I got a like 5-10 pound bag of potatoes. So, and of course, evaporated milk. So, yeah, so that's what I'm supposed to be cooking on Friday when I take the day off, in between the dentist appointment. So, okay, so that's a lot. Oh, and of course we are doing a Advent gift exchange. And so we do our Advent stitching activity. That's the 2nd annual, and this is our 2nd annual potluck. But last year we sort of we sort of exchanged little gifts, or a few people exchanged gifts. I don't think I exchanged gifts because I'd never been to their potluck, so I had not done a small, I had not done like a gift. So this year, we're not doing smalls, but I have a gift prepared, and I'm not going to tell what the gift is because I've got a couple people in the Salem Area Stitchers that watch this Flosstube, so I don't want to tell them. But anyway, I've got like little gift bags to put them in. We have to label what since we're doing this Advent gifting thing, we have to label them with the date that they should be opened. Well, mine will be opened on the day they receive it, which is Saturday the 14th. And so, but I have a bunch of supplies that I have to basically put into those little gift bags. So, yeah. So a lot of stuff to get done. And, you know, as we were working on this home improvement stuff that was supposed to happen, I thought, oh, great, the workmen will be here, the power will be off, I'll just get this stuff done. And then it didn't happen. So it's like, okay, now I really have to think about how do I organize myself to get this all done. And it'll get done by Friday. And then I'll go to our retreat on Saturday and stitch and eat and have fun. And so I hope everyone has fun stitching activities planned. Christmas being in the middle of the week, I only have the one day off, and I was going to take some more time in January, so I didn't really want to use up any more vacation. So, but I'm thinking like, my work schedule is kind of light right now, and I'm getting caught up on stuff. So, I mean, I had literally, for the last couple days, I've had 2 things on my to-do list. Normally, my to-do list is, even on the lightest days, it's like 6 to 7 things. So I'm like, okay, if my to-do list is that small, maybe I should take some more vacation time off. So anyway, something to think about. Anyway, so happy holidays. And this is the first Flosstube I'm doing for December, so maybe I'll have another one at some point. Yeah, my calendar's a little off because book club's sooner than it normally is. So, yeah. So, all right. Well, I hope if you attended Jingle Ball that you had a good time like I did. It was very relaxing and very productive too. So, and they're going to be doing more virtual events. So check out Lindy Stitch's website under virtual events because they have them all listed. And I have my new planner, 2-year planner for 25 and 26. And I have those things now in my calendar. And of course our stitching days, which I'm again hosting in another month or 2. So, yay, fun. All right, thank you. Bye.